All the music that I recorded, man, a lot of it was recording it trying to get a deal. Especially when I started doing a bulk of my music, everybody was still looking for a deal. The internet and the independent aspect was very fresh, very in its genesis. And me coming from the era that I came from, success was somebody signing you. So my perspective was different. I recorded all this music and just really gave it to the homies and never put it out on my own. But I do plan on putting out, I have a body of work that I did, man, a lot of music, and I plan on putting it out and calling it the Lost Scrolls, which is basically an accumulation of all the music that I had did over the years that some people heard, some people didn't. That's crazy fire, but I just didn't put it out because I had to really rethink the game at the time. Because you got to think, me as an MC, I've seen the transition from analog to digital. So it took me a minute to adjust. Like I said, to me, success was somebody signing you. We didn't have the avenues to promote it and do it yourself. And that's what the internet brought into the game, and that's how the game has changed, because the promotional aspects and the promotional things that you have access to was never accessible to the layman. Only the labels had access to it. So now that the layman has access to it, it's changed the game a lot, you know. Also what's changed the game is that with all the software and everything now, it doesn't take any expertise anymore to do the music. You know, it's almost kind of like doing math with a calculator. You know, that's really the equivalent of where it is right now. It's like doing math with a calculator because the computer's doing everything for you. You know, it's like it doesn't take any expertise. I remember seeing people on the SP12 hours trying to chop this the right way. And now it's visual. They put it on the thing, you see the wave, you chop it, and it's a done deal. You know, so there's no expertise. That's why everybody's able to do music. The quality music is that the people that you hear have the expertise. That's what's separating them now. Because anybody can do it now. Anybody, I mean, you want to rhyme, homie, oh, let's get GarageBand and you can go in. And doing a demo on GarageBand will probably sound better than the 4-track demos I used to do in the 80s on a 4-track recorder. Like, can you go figure? And I can rhyme my ass off. But Joe Blow, that can't rap for shit, got this bomb crispy ass sounding shit. But he's pure, unadulterated trash. You know what I'm saying? So it's incredible, man, how they gave you all these elements to make it easier, but they gave it's like I said, it's like doing math with a calculator. I mean, anybody can do it, you know. And with separating the good ones from the bad ones is the expertise, the ear, the musical. When it's up in here, you can hear that, and you feel that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, that's fast food, homie. That's so funny you say that, because when you look at the more popular movies, you have Breakin' and then you have Beat Street. Yeah. And Breakin' is more of the LA scene, Beat Street is more of the New York scene. And to me, they made the LA scene seem a little corny, kind of. They gave it a corny element, and I think that's why gangster rap banged them in the head so much, because people, you know, in other regions and other places really had this one aspect of it. So when you came out with the NWA and the gangster rap shit, it was like, oh shit, where'd this come from? And it was here the whole time. You know, you just, you know, this Hollywood, so when they do a Hollywood movie, these dudes go look Hollywood. And nothing to take from them brothers that did that, you know. You can't take nothing away from Shaba and, you know what I mean, Shiwadu and all them cats, man. You can't take nothing away from them, but the way it was glamorized is not authentic LA. Like, come on, homie, like, okay, that's a part of it, but that's not authentic what it really do. You know what I'm saying? Show me homeboy with the Chuck Taylors, man, in the khaki suit, man, that's getting it in. Like, where them dudes at? Because you got to think, where I grew up in West LA, man, the illest pop lockers was gangbangers. They was the illest pop lockers. I remember seeing my man, because where I grew up in the Playboys, man. So I remember seeing Big Jesse James, and my first rap group I was in called Bedrock Crew. Lil Jesse James was in my crew. We all came up, you know, gangbanging in the early years, man. And I remember seeing him and his brother Pop Lock, man. Them was the illest dudes in the hood, but they was gangbangers. They would give you the business. You know what I'm saying? But they would serve you or some like come on, man. You know, so I think that aspect didn't come into it, and then you really didn't get a hint of that until you start getting the NWA, and that was the more popular, but you always had pieces of it, because you had King T and you had Toddy T, who was the first people that was really letting you know how it go down, especially King T. he was the first like representative of that gangbanging stuff. You know what I'm saying? And even what preludes him is your man Mixmaster Spade. Bless his soul, R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? Mixmaster Spade was, I'm Mixmaster Spade and I'm ready to ride. Come on, man. Like, that was gangster for us, you know what I'm saying? Although, because my thing is, what Mixmaster Spade did was an early form of what T.J. Swan ended up doing. You know, so you can see the similarities, man, and how the marriage is, especially people messing with harmonics and vocals and stuff like that. We've been dabbling at it for a while, man. That's what Mike and I ended up going when he ended up doing Park Bench People, man, and messing with the harmonics. And what was crazy about him, he started experimenting with jazz timings, you know, because what The Good Life did is that what's special, especially with chopping, is that the timing that they decided to rhyme at. Rapping in 3/4 time and, you know, quarter time and stuff like that. Like that, nobody had never did that before. You had a form of chopping in New York, which was like what Jazz and Jay-Z did with the originators, but the difference is that they always landed on the one. Because you got to think, they came up off of James Brown, and James Brown was the one. Mm-hmm. That's it. Anybody you see a documentary about James Brown, you gotta land on that one, boy. You're gonna land on the one. So when they chop, they always landed on the one. But the difference with LA chopping is that they messed with the time. You might not land on the one. I might land here, and then hit the one. You see what I'm saying? So it was more intricate, way more intricate as far as the style. Yeah. So actually, KMC, the dudes that produced that was the dudes from Lifelong Entertainment that produced my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So it was the same crew. And it's funny you bring that up. Those crews, a lot of them was like, you had the regular Good Life, and then you had people who used to fall through. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those cats was like, you know, they wasn't every week. You know, they come through, hang out, maybe do a song or two like that. But even the Far Side wasn't necessarily Good Life. They was associated, you know. We had a lot of associations, people who was around. But the authentic stuff that come out of Freestyle Fellowship, Volume 10, Hip Hop Clan, CVE, Skilo. I wish I was a little bit taller, you know. Funky Trend, which was like the Youngsters, the Bastards, Righteous Family, you know, the early beginnings of Jurassic 5. Was it Rebels of Rhythm, and I forget, Unity Committee and Rebels of Rhythm, when they came together, they all met out of the Good Life. Medusa, of course, and Sin. Eru, he was always associated with it. This is what always associated Eru with the Good Life was, he was just the cat that everybody had knew, you know, plus with the association with Rap Pages when they came out with that cover with all the up-and-coming dudes with Ganja K, Razkaz, Medusa, Eru. That's how his association, because Rap Pages was heavily associated with the Good Life, and because of that cover, which is a super popular cover, added to his association with it. But Eru, I don't even think he might have freestyled in there maybe once or twice, but I know he wasn't a regular dude, but he's authentic LA. Okay. Authentic hood LA. Same thing with Ahmad. Ahmad, you know, he used to come in there too. Ahmad is a beast, and that's so funny because my oldest friend, I King, that's Ahmad is his little brother. So I've known him since he was a youngster. I've known Ahmad since he was born. You know what I'm saying? When I moved out here from New York and I lived on Bedford, his brother, I King, stayed across the street, so we came up together. You know what I'm saying? So it's very close knit. As big and spread out LA is, it's a lot of intertwining relationships. But right now with Tabernacle MCs, we really going hard. We got the new single out. We put out 3 projects. The first project was Aquarian Gospel Volume 1. We put out a mixtape, which was Moses and Aaron. And then we have the new album out right now, which is B-Boy Prophecies, the Book of Himothy. And it features production from Shafiq Hussein from Sarah. We got a beat from Lord Jamar from Brand Nubians, did a beat for us. We got songs with Medusa. AC Alone was the first single, West West. We just working that project right now and really just spreading this gospel, man. We actually getting the church bigger and bigger now. Everybody's associated now. We're putting out a new project, which is the Tabernacle MCs presents the Get That Money Boys Choir. which is going to be like crazy. We got Michael Myers on there, Jupiter from Freestyle Fellowship, Volume 10. He got a song, Zach Brown from Global Flotation. So it's going to be crazy. Tabernacle is really, that's the new wave right now. We actually on Project Blows Records. So it's all family, it's all associated. You know, we actually the first group they put out with the new distribution deal. So it's definitely working out, man. AC, Bad Drew looked out, and it's going down right now. So TMC's is definitely popping. That's the new wave. That's the new thing that you're going to see with me doing right now. Plus I'm going to be doing a solo project called Hardcore Righteousness. And that's when I'm going to go back to the classic, authentic, Born a Law stuff. The album, the stuff that I do with Tabernacle MCs is very concept driven. So I wanted, a lot of people was asking me for me to get into that vein again, you know, really getting that cat. So I want to get the people what they want, man. I'm going to talk sassy and stuff, smack the shit out of a few rappers for the free publicity, you know.